Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell, and today's first replay is from the user Scrappy G Willy. That is Scrappy G Willy, and he's driving the KV-1 on an encounter battle on the steppes. Now obviously he's top tier, he's in a KV-1 and he has a derp cannon, so as you can imagine this one is going to be fun. 61 penetration, 450 damage on that 122mm derp cannon. So before we get too far into this replay, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be having a vlog come out later on this week, either tomorrow or Friday, just letting you know what's going on with the video schedule at the moment. I know it's a little bit all over the place, videos are coming out at random times, and sometimes you're not getting videos at all. Takes an early hit there from somebody, but like I said, I'm going to be bringing out a vlog either Thursday or Friday just to let you know what's happening with the video schedule, what's happening generally, and also what's happening with the live streams. I know you haven't had any live streams for the past 2 to 3 weeks. Beautiful shot early on that Type T26E4 just to get into his underbelly and take him out there. Nice bit of damage and a very early kill there from Scrappy, getting called out as... oh no, I don't think it was him getting called out as a noob there. So yes, vlog coming out Thursday or Friday to let you guys know what's happening with the video schedule and why there haven't been any live streams for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and just to let you generally know what's going on. So onto this replay, Scrappy just deciding that he is a KV-1, he's top tier, so he's just going to drive straight down the centre with his derp cannon and take on all comers. Not quite predicting the movements of that M2 medium there, and he just gets away with not being blown to pieces by the KV-1's derp gun here. Shell travel time on these derp cannons is a lot slower than normal, so sometimes predicting the movement of tanks can be a little bit more difficult. This M2 drops back just a little bit. Scrappy takes his shot and takes him out and picks up kill number 2. He has been spotted because he is taking hits from the right hand side, although none of those have penetrated just yet. Does spot out his counterparts making a move here. The first KV-1 has stopped, so he takes his shot, gets a little bit of damage through his side there. That one obviously just bounced on the armor, but the great thing about these derp cannons is when they fail to penetrate, they still do some damage, and they do critical hit damage as well. Except when you hit very, very thick bits of the armor, like he just did there. That one just does no damage whatsoever. Finds a Panzer Soufflé in the center here. Looks like he may have fully burned, but now he's just going to get fully blown to pieces by the huge cannon of this KV-1. So picked up 3 kills now, and he hasn't even made it halfway across the battlefield yet. He's still pushing on here. Finds a Panzer 4D. Can he get his gun down onto target? Indeed he can. Looks like the Panzer 4D's at a weird angle, so that shot just goes straight through his armor. Picks up another 177 points of damage, and that's kill number 4. You see the Allied M3 Stuart is in there fighting with that Chi-Ha. So Scrappy just going to push on regardless. It looks like the Allies have got the left-hand flank all won now. The right-hand flank is a different story. They are winning 8 kills to 4. Now 8 kills to 5. Scrappy's going to try and get in here to the base and find some of the campers. See if he can pick himself up a little bit more damage and a few more kills. It looks like most of the Allied team is quite reluctant to push forward here. They've got a lot of heavy tanks just camping at the back there with the tank destroyers, defending against some unknown enemy. Finds the Chi-Ha. It's going to be nice if he can finally get a shot onto him. Just fires that one over his back. Panicked just a little bit, I think. Panzer 1C comes in here. I think Scrappy is going to be loaded in time. Did bounce a shot from the rear there. Looks like there's a Panzer 3-4 coming in, so he's going to have to be careful with that one. Gets a track taken out by this Panzer 3-4. Looks like the Panzer 3-4 switched his attention across now to this Panzer 1C. And the two of them are going to play ring around the houses around the KV-1 here. I know the thing is as large and well armoured as a house. Still, this is a little bit of an absurd situation when you have 2 tanks running around your tank, battling with each other. And if Scrappy can just get his gun onto target, onto this Panzer 3-4, he may be able to do something. See, the Panzer III-4's had a change of heart now, realises that he might have to start putting some damage onto the KV-1 here. Does get a shot in the side, but that one only does 160 points of damage, not quite going through his armour. Going to have to try and pick his weak spot a little bit better now. Panzer III-4 fires, but doesn't do any damage. But Scrappy does do some damage in return. Gets a shot through there for 260 points of damage, picks up kill number 6, and that is his Top Gun medal. Going to be making his way to the base capture circle here. Game's a little bit more even at 10-8 now. But the Allies do still have the advantage on this one. There is 3 of the enemy tanks on the right-hand flank here, one of them being this KV-1 here. Scrappy just going to allow his gun to focus in. Unfortunately, the super thick armour of this KV-1 means that no matter where he aims at, that shot's not really going to penetrate, even straight through the rear armour, as you saw there. AMX-38 is the one doing the base capturing. Looks like Scrappy isn't having any of it. Fires off his shot and misses there. Panics that one just a little bit. But he just uses his tank as a battering ram to take him out and pick up kill number 7. Gets the full 100% of his hit points in ramming damage there. Gets another hit onto the KV-1. Sounds like the KV-1 is firing heat ammunition, or maybe HE. Looks like he may actually have the derp cannon as well. But looks like Scrappy might have the advantage on this one, considering the enemy KV-1 only has 8 hit points left. Going to try and get one shot, one more good hit, or one kind of hit at all will be all it requires. And that is kill number 8. The other KV-1 should fall any minute now when that 30-01 catches up. Panzer 1C's not really going to be able to do anything to this KV-1. All he can really do is annoy him. And we're just going to speed this one up a little bit until we get back into the action. There's just this Churchill 1 on the other side of the map, but he's dueling against an Su-76 and a Churchill 1 himself here. So he shouldn't be long for this world. Should get himself taken out any second now. Looks like they're actually failing to kill this Churchill 1 now. And the Churchill 1 actually takes out both the Su-76 and the Allied Churchill 1. So it's left to Scrappy and his pal in the Panzer 1C here to go and try and find out this Churchill 1. And try and take him out. Do what the Allies couldn't do. Does find the Churchill 1 on the right-hand side here. Going to let his reticule close in and going to take his shot. Takes his kill. Kill number 9. And almost 2,000 points of damage. So brilliant replay there from Scrappy G. Willie. Showing what you can do with a derp cannon. A well-armoured, top-tiered heavy tank. And you can just wreak havoc even with the enemy team. So good, great replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replays from the user XX Evil Gopher XX. That's Evil Gopher. And he's driving the T26E4 Super Pershing on a standard battle on the Serene Coast. Super Pershing being a Tier 8 premium medium tank for the Americans. This thing has a little bit of a lackluster cannon, as we can take a quick look at the stats. It has an average damage of 240 and an average penetration of 170mm. And when coming up against heavily armoured Tier 8 targets, this thing can be a little bit lackluster. And especially when coming up against higher tiers than Tier 8. The one thing this tank does have going for it, though, is superb armour and survivability. Take a quick look at that front plate there. You can see it's very nicely angled, but it's also spaced. You've got the regular front plate of the tank and then another plate on top, meaning that it's very difficult to penetrate that front plate. And same for the turret there. It's got spaced armor, the gun mantlet, and then the turret armor itself, making this thing a very, very tough nut to crack in almost all situations. So Evil Gopher going to be heading over to the right-hand flank straight away. Going to be seeing who he can spot out and duel against. Does find the enemy KV-5 here. Also another one of those tanks which is very difficult to damage, but also has a lackluster cannon. You can see both of them fire at each other and do 0 damage. Evil Gopher's able to get some damage with his second shot. Looks like he knows exactly where to fire, which is that huge machine gun turret at the very front of the KV-5 there, where the radio operator sits. And that thing is very, very much a weak spot for the KV-5. You can see the KV-5 doesn't quite know where to shoot at the Super Pershing, so he's not able to get any damage in return. You can see Evil Gopher just wiggling his turret there, making sure that the KV-5 can't fire at those weak spots. Even if he knew where they were, KV-5 was trying in vain to cover his machine gun turret, but decides that he can't win this duel at all, as Evil Gopher is penetrating with every single shot now. And finally the KV-5 decides to run away, as he's taken almost 1,500 points of damage now. Does get a nice hit on that VK-30-02 just as he decides to advance forward. Oh, sorry about that, I don't know what happened there. So as Evil Gopher pushes forwards, you can see he's got a VK-30-02 on his left-hand side, and the Comet has actually snuck all the way behind the enemy. Evil Gopher gets a great shot to take out that KV-5 as he comes around the corner there, trying to get a shot on this 30-02, but he is hidden behind a rock there, and he gets taken out by the Comet. Looks like the Allied team has done a fantastic job of flanking and pushing on this right-hand side. Evil Gopher himself leading the charge on this right-hand side, as you saw the Comet and another VK flanking all the way along the inside of that lake there, doing a great job of pushing forwards. Gonna see who they can find now. Gonna speed this one up a little bit, as the Super Pershing is not known for its fantastic top speed, middle speed, or any speed really. Hasn't got fantastic agility for a medium tank. Does find this IS able to get a great shot through his front plate, and he is taken out by the Comet in the end. Hellcat has dropped back in an effort to try and defend the base, as they have been overrun on this right-hand side. Unfortunately for the Allies, they are doing well on this flank, but they're not doing particularly well on the other flank. Evil Gopher not quite able to find a shot on this M12. This Hellcat still running, as he is coming back to try and defend his artillery. That Comet is threatening down on that M12, so the enemy team has to be careful here. Does take a shot on the move, but it looks like the T29 is just slightly quicker and is able to take that kill away. Keeps his gun trained on the M12, and he's able to take him out and pick up kill number 2. I think the enemy team has realised how this battle is going. Each team seemed to try and push the other as quickly as possible on the opposite flank, but it looks like the Allied team were faster on this one. So the enemy team realised that and have come all the way back there. Not quite able to penetrate the T69, which is a little bit unusual. These American tanks do sometimes have really weirdly well-armoured underbellies and lower plates. T69 is going to be focusing in on the Super Pershing here. Does get one good shot, and as you can hear, he is firing heat rounds, which if he doesn't hit the Super Pershing in exactly the right spot, heat rounds are terrible at penetrating spaced armor. So he wasn't going to have a very good time trying to take out the Super Pershing of Evil Gopher there. Evil Gopher sees that there's an IS-6 and a Panther pushing around on this left-hand side between the rocks here to try and reset the base capture. One of them does get a reset on the base capture. Evil Gopher's able to get a shot on this Panther and only takes track damage in return. Now he's going to try and focus down on this IS-6, as the Panther is concentrating somewhere else. Got his gun to the sky, not really sure what he's doing there. The IS-6 is just focusing on resetting this cap. You see they've only got 20 seconds left on that one, so he's just sacrificing his hit points in order to make sure that the base doesn't get captured. Although by the looks of it, he may have just Alt F4'd out of this one, as there's only 10 seconds left on that base capture clock. Panther is deciding now that he has to come around and do something about this. Only 5 seconds on the clock. Can Evil Gopher defend this one? No, he can't. He comes in to ram the Panther to try and stop him getting close enough to the base. Unfortunately, he is just about close enough. Evil Gopher takes out the STA-1, and then the Panther gets taken out by the T29, and that is going to be pretty much all she wrote, except the score is 12-12 at the moment. Enemy team does have a KV-1S in here. Does take a huge amount of damage, and the STA-1 gets taken out by Evil Gopher and the Super Pershing. There is a full health AT-8 here. With the armor of the AT-8, the Allies might find this one a little bit difficult. Evil Gopher just finishes off the KV-1S there to pick up kill number 7. This AT-8 is focusing on the Super Pershing. Really should be trying to focus on decapping the base. as Evil Gopher does take his track out, and now we can just leisurely stroll along round to the side of the AT-8. As the AT-8 starts to make a move again, he can just continue moving around with him. This AT-8 got nowhere near the traverse, and it would be nice if Evil Gopher could be allowed to pick up his Radley Walters. Nope, looks like the scumbag T29 going to take that one away from him. But then again, I think Evil Gopher doesn't look particularly bothered by that one, as he did pick himself up 7 kills, 5,100 points of damage, and that was a very quick, very brutal game in and around that cap circle there. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is down in the description. Just attach the replay file, sorry, got muddled up with my words, to the email that you send in, or the link to the replay website, and I can check that one out for you. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. So I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.